everyone, it's Violet. I'm so excited to see you. If you're tuning in live, drop an emoji or a comment and let me know where you're watching from, and so that I can say hi and welcome you. This is our weekly live show in our For Your Feminine group. And tonight we're talking about, hi Lauren, tonight we're talking about what might accidentally be pushing away a healthy partner. Hi Karen, welcome, so glad that you're here. And so this topic, obviously, I don't want to shame anyone. It's not about what you're doing wrong, but sometimes we have these unconscious patterns and we don't even realize that they're happening. And so the myth is that we can just, shower a partner with appreciation and everything will work out, because we need to honor our truth. We need to honor when our needs are not getting met. But likewise, if we're always withholding criticism, withholding compliments or withholding our appreciation, then that can be hard too. So I tend to find, hello everyone, I tend to find that as women, we have no problem appreciating the masculine when we're feeling good and when we're getting what we want. But when we're having a bad day or we're not getting what we want, then it's hard to be in a place of appreciation. And this isn't just about the masculine. This is about at any point in our life, right? I mean, I get it. I have a lot of empathy and compassion because I go through these phases too, where I don't want to appreciate my partner because I'm still kind of mad about the things that he didn't do. Or if you're going out on a date with someone, you might be kind of upset that they didn't plan a better date, or that they waited until the last minute to kind of let you know where you were meeting. And all of those things can kind of get under our skin, especially if we've been hurt in the past. But what I find is that either we give too much appreciation and not enough of our truth, or we give too much of our truth and not enough appreciation, or that this kind of switches as the relationship goes on. So sometimes in the beginning, we're like really effusive. And then as the relationship goes on, we start kind of crossing our arms energetically. And sometimes it's the opposite, especially if you tend to feel a little more closed off or a little more shy. It might take you a while before you feel like letting someone know that you care, or letting someone know that you're interested in them. It might take a lot for you to share that. So I'm curious, for those of you who are watching, if it is hard for you ever to appreciate the masculine, and if so, what is it that gets in your way? And if you're not sure, that's okay. I'll share some things that I find get in our way. So one thing that can get in the way is the past, projecting things that happened in the past onto a future partner or date. Another thing that can get in the way is our mindset, beliefs that we have about men that we may have inherited from our moms or from society. The thought men are lazy is a belief that popped into my mind just a little bit ago because I was responding to one of my clients, and it's not actually a true belief. I mean, it's a total generalization. I can't imagine calling women lazy or calling any other percentage of the population lazy, but this little belief popped in my head, and so somewhere along the way I developed this belief that men are lazy. I was responding to someone about who should make the first move online. And a lot of people think, oh, I want a man who will make the first move. But the truth is that a lot of times in online dating, you need to make the first move. People might be seeing hundreds of profiles. And so it's okay, it's okay to make the first move and to let someone know that you're interested. And I teach my clients specifically kind of how to do that and the things that you can say to really make your message stand out. And the point is, sometimes our past gets in the way, sometimes our mindset gets in the way, sometimes our mood gets in the way, and our emotions are beautiful. All emotions are beautiful. But when we're withholding appreciation, the feeling that sometimes the other person will have is that no matter what they do, it's not enough. And I don't know if you've ever been in that place yourself where you feel like no matter what I do, it's not enough. But it's a hard place to be. Oftentimes we feel that there's no win. And when there's a no-win situation, we feel helpless. And when we feel helpless, we can start to really be hard on ourselves and be hard on the people around us. So I'm not saying you need to just shower the masculine with appreciation like good boy, all the time. But if we want someone to want to spend time with us on a date or messaging or in our relationship, then we need to be comfortable sharing appreciation from a place that's genuine, but without withholding our truth. So to say, oh my God, this is the best restaurant ever, I love it, I'm so glad you picked it out, if you really hate, the place he took you to, that would not be genuine. But to, withhold and not share your appreciation is going to miss out on intimacy and on connection, because most people just want to feel safe, we want to feel loved, and we want to know that we belong. And if we're not feeling those things, then our nervous system tends to not feel as comfortable. And if we're not feeling as comfortable, then we can't be as intimate emotionally and otherwise. So often, when we're in a difficult place or we're having a hard time, nothing is ever enough. And I've been like a hot mess like that before too, where I just feel in a state of despair, where, something starts going well, but I'm in a bad place. And so I'm thinking, well, it's never enough, and it's never enough. And this lack mentality of never being satisfied makes it feel like a man or a woman, whoever you're dating, can't make you happy. And if someone feels like they can't make you happy, granted, it's not their responsibility to make you happy, but they want to know that you can be happy when you're around them, then it can really backfire. But because so many women feel sensitive about this, like we know the masculine wants appreciation, we know that, we don't want to hurt his feelings, we go the opposite end of the direction and we stop sharing what's really true for us. So it's always great to start out with an appreciation and then share something that's on your heart if it's bothering you. And then appreciate that the person was willing to listen, that your date was willing to hold space for you in that way. In the first few dates, it's better to just kind of have a good time and see if you can have some compatibility and connection. And of course, go deep if you want to. But allow yourself to have a blend of appreciation and sharing your truth, and allow that to create deeper connection in the moment instead of just staying on the surface. If you've ever dated someone for like 6 weeks or so and it just never took off, typically it's because there's some sort of intimacy that we're withholding. Emotional intimacy, such as appreciation or such as our truth in the moment, or physical intimacy. I'm not saying you need to be physically intimate at a certain time, but if we're feeling closed off, our partner can feel that sometimes. They can sense energetically that something feels off. I can't tell you how many times women have said to me, oh, well, he broke up with me or he ghosted me. And when I say, well, did you really like him? They're like, well, I don't know. I'm not sure. And it's like, he can probably tell that you weren't that into it and he doesn't want to be rejected. So don't feel like how do I want to say this? That's not the right way. That's not the way I want to say it. I invite you to appreciate the masculine more than you're used to. Let them know that you feel special when they do this thing. Let them know that you really appreciate that they called or that they text. Let them know how good it feels to feel their arm around you, how nice it feels to have someone that you can share your day with. We can't over appreciate the masculine unless it's coming from a false place. So my hope is that the masculine thrives and the feminine thrives within us, within our relationships, within our society. And we do get into a place where we're talking about the toxic masculine, or we're putting the masculine down. And there's definitely parts of the patriarchy that are totally busted and need to be changed. But when we do that from a place of shame or nothing is ever good enough, then we're accidentally pushing away a potential date or a potential partner. So I want to shower you all with appreciation for being here, for tuning in, whether you're watching live, whether you're watching on the replay. I invite you to reflect on where you might be withholding your appreciation or where you might be withholding your truth. And if this is something that's challenging for you, that you're not sure how to speak your mind when something is really bothering you, so you end up saying something nice to protect the other person's feelings, or if you withhold your appreciation because it feels vulnerable to let someone know that you like them and that you care, then we want to find that sweet spot in that middle ground where you can share both appreciation and your truth and have deeper emotional intimacy along with the physical intimacy and get to that level of commitment that you really want. So again, if that's something that you need some support with or you want some tools on, just reach out and set up a free breakthrough session. These are love strategy sessions where we get really clear on your love life, what's working, what's not working, and where you want to go. And if it feels like a good fit for us to work together, we'll talk about that. If not, no big deal. We'll point you in another direction, but you'll get time with either me or my team if you go to violetlange.com/talk. Set up your free love strategy session, and I will, I'll be live next week. I can't remember the topic off the top of my head, but we have our show every week. But in the meantime, if you need some support, because we only have about 10 weeks left in this year, then reach out and go to violetlange.com/talk and set up your love strategy session now. Mwah!